What up, y'all? Appreciate you showing up, hanging out, listening to my dumb ass. Like and subscribe. So, can't have a day of calm and peace. There always has to be something crazy going on the PlayStation, on the blue side. The dog unicorns and the ponies can't stay still. They got rats in the stables. I don't know what's going on. So it seems that your boy, ex-co-CEO, Herman Hulst got demoted. Honestly, I don't think he got demoted. I think they gave him that title, but he's been doing the same job. Maybe, I don't know, maybe they gave him some extra stuff to do. But here's the thing. He got demoted on paper. He got demoted because he was CEO, co-CEO, which is like, co-CEO? Who's that? Why? And so I guess they said, let's see how you do. And they saw how he did. And they're like, yeah, you suck. Get back over to the games. And so now he's studios and I guess IP management and all that stuff. He's just a games guy now, which is what he always was. And was it Hideki Nishino, who was the hardware co-CEO, is now both. He's the CEO of everything now. And so I'm like, okay, that's different. Because it's like, first, it was just Nishino doing the hardware, right? And then Herman Hulst doing the software stuff, the games. And so I'm like, all right, well, if that seemed like it worked, so why would they change it? And since they changed it, what actually changed? Also, remember I did a video a couple of videos ago talking about the Westernification. I don't think that's a word, but you know, the Western influence that these recent CEOs of PlayStation have put upon the whole PlayStation business. It started with, I would say, Jack Tretton, although he was cool, but in his reign, he started the movie cinematic type of games, right? The Uncharted and all that stuff. And Last of Us, I believe, also. And then they continued with Andrew House. It continued with Andrew House. It continued with Sean Layden. And then they kicked Sean Layden's ass out. They said, "Gebloosh." And then Jim Ryan said, "Oi, the Imperials are here. The Empire will make it right." And, yeah, they didn't do that. And it's like, a lot of people, I hear them. They're like, good, they're getting the Japanese people back in PlayStation. That's how it should be. And I'm like, y'all don't have memory of what PlayStation was and how it does not equate or fit into what a successful gaming company console is today. You cannot take what PlayStation was, like the PlayStation 1 or the PlayStation 2, and say, oh, this is how the games were, how all the games, and apply it to PlayStation 5 and 6. You can't do that because they did not have that many first-party games. And the first-party games they had was like Crash Bandicoot or something like that. And what else did they have? I don't even know. I know they had Psygnosis, the Killing Game Show. That was dope because I played it on Amiga. I was like, yo, this is dope. But they closed that place down. That was London Studio, I believe. So they're gone. You know, a historic Psygnosis was there at the beginning of the PlayStation. And they closed them down. I would be like, listen, if I was PlayStation, if I was a boss there, I would like, listen, they were there from the beginning. We need to keep them around, okay? They need to do something. Let's go. Let's keep them. But no, they just close them down. They don't care. Excuse me. And so I'm like, these guys, Hiroki Totoki, Hideki, that's his name, Nishino, they don't care. They are money men. They're gonna make that money. They're gonna make the money. So my question is this. I know Mark Cerny's still there, I guess. even though this guy Hideki Nishino was head of the hardware division, and I guess Mark Cerny is the hardware architect who reports to him, to Nishino. I guess I don't even know. I know Cerny was more of a software guy back when he was with Sega. He was doing some incredible, amazing things. So like, you look at what the Genesis was doing, it was like, wait, well, how is the Genesis doing that? It was Mark Cerny, all programming, all software, because they didn't change the hardware. The hardware actually got worse as it went along. I think it got a little faster. I can't remember. It was like 7 megahertz at one point. I can't remember what the I think the fast one was 7. Anyway, it doesn't matter. Or there was a fast one that was 10. Anyway. But yeah, so now Mark Cerny's like, okay, what does he do there now? Is he going to be the hardware architect, or is he a software guy, or is he still going to do the things? And the thing about that is that he's good. Let's not get it twisted. Mark Cerny's good. He's a brain, right? But I think they're constraining him, because you look at what the PlayStation 5 is, and then you look at what the PlayStation 5 Pro is, and you're like, those are both Mark Cerny? Is he slipping? What's going on? Because everybody's like, oh, PlayStation 5 is better than Xbox Series X. I'm like, you sure about that? On paper, it's not, right? And I say this all the time. On paper, it's not. Microsoft has a faster CPU. I believe this GPU is faster as well. I think the PlayStation 5 has a faster I/O, but everything else is better on the Xbox, right? But the whole problem with that, we've said this before many times, that the devs weren't coding. They weren't optimizing for Xbox Series X first. They were optimizing for PlayStation 5 first, because they only had to optimize for one SKU on that side, and then they had to optimize for 2 SKUs on the Xbox side. So they had to split their resources, and they didn't put as much money into that. And that's why the Xbox Series X versions aren't as full-featured or performant as PlayStation, because honestly, it could just brute force a lot of that stuff, because it had enough power, it had enough overhead, unlike the PlayStation. And the proof is in the pudding. Look, you look at the PlayStation 5 Pro, how many games actually perform better than the PlayStation 5? Like one, like Final Fantasy, that's it. It's like, oh, it's not Vaseline, but everything else, got Shimmer Station. Shadows is dancing all over the place. And vegetation, forget about it. Vegetation Station. It's crazy. And I'm like, this thing is, first of all, it's like $200 more, right? In no way should the PlayStation 5 Pro be underperforming the PlayStation 5 Amateur, okay? And so that right there tells me either Mark Cerny messed up, or Mark Cerny messed up. I don't know. What's the other excuse? Like, what? Or they forced him to do something that he was like, it's not gonna really work like that. And he said, oh, I'm so excited about this new AI stuff. It's like, I'm not, because y'all ain't showing me anything that's exciting. Look at how trash garbage this looks. That's your AI working? That's like FSR -2. We on FSR 4, right? And 4 is supposed to be okay. And somebody said today, oh yeah, the Pisser Tech is just FSR 4. I'm like, I don't think it's even that. I think it's at least, at most 3 if they're lucky. It's probably just 2 with an extra, little extra, or they just put 2 on the chip on the motherboard, so that it wouldn't have to take any CPU cycles. And so, yeah, it's AI. It's just FSR on the chip. But it's not, okay, sure. I don't know how I got on that tangent, but your boy, Herman Hulst, getting demoted. This is an indicator. Like I said before, you look at the bad news. There's a lot of bad news on the PlayStation side. Recently, for a long time, it has been. And then, with the bad news, of course, you hear, oh, we're hearing rumors of God of War is going to be set in Egypt. Oh, let's distract. Hey, look at this over here. Herman Hulst demoted. No, don't pay attention. Look at over here. They're trying to distract you from the bad news that is PlayStation. That the house is burning down. People are jumping out the windows. It's just, this is reality. PlayStation is not in a good spot. They're demoting people. I mean, if Herman Hulst don't turn it around, He's going to be out of a job. They're going to hire somebody else. They should have kept Shuhei. Just had him replace Herman Hulst. But they can't do that. Oh, well, I mean, they could. They should, because they wouldn't be in the predicament they are in right now. But, I mean, that's not to say that they shouldn't be trying the live service, games as a service type of thing. But they just approached it totally awesome. I'm like, how? Why would you do 12 games? 12 games? Really? That just seems like somebody who don't know what the hell they're doing. It's like, just throw it, fire everything. Just throw everything at the wall. And whatever sticks, sticks. Whatever doesn't, we just wasted $500 billion. Oh, well, it's just money. Oh, by the way, let me cash out my stock options. Later, guys. That's Jim Ryan fleeing the scene. Yeah, I'm not saying PlayStation will cease to exist, but I won't be surprised if something more drastic does happen, like somebody comes in and swoops up PlayStation and takes them away from Sony. But I know that in the past, PlayStation has made a lot of money for Sony, and there's a chance that it can still do that. But they have to cut the budgets, and so the PlayStation that we knew from before is not going to be the same PlayStation. They won't be producing the same type of games as far as lengthwise. Anyway, it'll be smaller games. The production value will probably go down a little bit, and there will be less frequent. And so it's not going to be the same PlayStation. You're not going to have this plethora, this flood of bangers. You might get 1 or 2 per generation now, or imagine if, I don't know, 5, let's say 5 per generation. So 1 a year, or 1 every year and a half or so per generation. Like right now, for the rest of this generation, I mean, I guess Ghost of Yotei, but that's like a PlayStation 4 game, honestly. You look at the graphics, I'm like, yeah, that's a PlayStation 4 game. That does not look like graphics that should be this gen, you know? And they have swindled and scammed everyone this generation with the PlayStation 5, and they're like, yeah, we believe in generations. Lie. It's like, yeah, we believe in PS4 generation because that's where all the people are. So yeah, we believe in generations. So I mean, technically it's not a lie. But you know, they set up this cross generational business and pretended like it wasn't, and they pretended like Ratchet and Clank Rift Apart isn't a PlayStation 4 game. And just because it's not on PlayStation 4 doesn't mean it can't be on PlayStation 4, because there are computers that are less than or equal to the PlayStation 4 that run that game. That you don't need a hard drive. You don't need an SSD. So, I don't know, man. It's crazy. Like, his demotion is another indication of the turmoil that's going on at PlayStation. And this is I have foreseen it. I saw it in my tea leaves. I saw it. I was like, yeah, I don't know what's going on over there. And the fact that like Dreamcast guy and all these other guys, MBG and all, they're like doubting. They want to kind of move over back to the Xbox or whatever. And Dreamcast, I said it. There won't be another banger like those PlayStation bangers until the PlayStation 6. Because they wasted all their time and money off of these games to service games. I say there might be one. Do you really count Ghost of Yotei? Sure, if you want to count that. I don't know if it's going to be a banger like that. But, Intergalactic, I don't know if that's coming out for PlayStation. I mean, it will, because they want to do cross-platform, because then they're going to have enough. That might even come out for the PlayStation 4. Who knows? Who knows with Sony? Anyway, I appreciate your answer. Like and subscribe. Let me know in the comments. Hit me up in the comments below. Let me know what you think about Herman Hulst getting demoted. The state of PlayStation doesn't look rosy. How's that fragrance? Waft it up, B. Doesn't smell too good to me right now. It smells like basura. Just saying. But yeah, I appreciate. I'll talk to y'all next one. Tilt the weight.